Zagalat. OT, mommy volume.
Jules, baby, Jules, baby, Jules.
It's your boy, Georgia.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of On the Couch with Abi. I'm your host, Abidemi Taiwo. On today's show, I have a special guest with me who's gracing the couch today. She's a dancer, she's a choreographer, and a fitness instructor. She owns her own dance company called Crystal Eyes and actually won the Miss Nigeria Ireland back in 2009. Her dance group qualified to represent Ireland at the Hip Hop World Championship in Las Vegas. It is the gorgeous, the multi-talented Emmanuella Salako.
You give your heart to me, I no go let you go. Where I no go do you, basa baby, trust in me. When you give your heart.
How are you?
Thank you for the introduction.
Oh, so good to finally have you here, Emmanuella.
I know.
She is such a busy young lady. It has been like, what, 2 months now?
2 months, but we finally got it together.
Finally got it together. So, just to start with the interview, I want to ask, who is Emmanuella Salako?
Emmanuella Salako is a dancer, choreographer. I do some acting on the side. And yeah, that's Emmanuella Salako.
Okay. So you must have started Crystal Eyes way back, when you were a teenager.
Yes.
So what were you thinking at the time when you thought, oh, I'm just going to create this dance group called Crystal Eyes?
Well, at first, I was teaching at the college DKT, at the clubs and societies clubs. And then I found that there was a lot of, secondary school students and that were coming into the classes and taking classes. And, the classes were for the college students. So I saw that there was a demand for a dance class. So I started my own. And we were like rehearsing in my garden, in my back garden and at the front of the house, anywhere we can get, training, we were training. So I decided to kind of, take it seriously and start up a business. So, that's how it started.
Yeah. Okay. That's quite interesting because obviously at the moment, that is actually what you do for a living.
Yeah,
that's
my job. Yeah.
That's your job.
Yeah.
Obviously, being a dancer, it's very, it's physically demanding.
Yes.
It goes without saying.
Yeah.
So how do you keep your energy levels up? You teach about 30 classes.
A lot of classes in a week. Yeah. Well, a lot of caffeine. I eat good and drink a lot of water and take my vitamins all the time. So I need all that to keep going because it's go.
Yeah. As I can see. Yeah. Right. So you won the Miss Nigeria Ireland in 2009. So tell me more about that.
Well, it was funny how they scouted me because it was at Bold and Beautiful. They had a white party on, and whoever won the best dress lady won a car and automatic entry to Miss Nigeria 2009. Right. Miss Nigeria Ireland 2009. So basically, I entered the competition for best dress lady and I won it. So I won a car, and then Miss Nigeria organization Peter Ogina approached me and was like, because you won this competition, you've got automatic entry to Miss Nigeria Ireland beauty pageant. So I was like, beauty pageant? Me? What? I'm short and I've never done beauty pageant before, but if it's a dance competition, yes. But my mom encouraged me to just do it for something different. Yes. So I entered it and I won that too.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So it was crazy. 2009
so what was that
a
year
crazy
like? Because obviously I know you would have been the queen for a year.
Yes.
So what was that year like for you?
It was totally out of my comfort zone. I had to go around Ireland giving speeches here, there and everywhere and just doing stuff that I normally wouldn't do. So it was an amazing year, really, and also during my year I had to actually go to Nigeria to contest for Miss Nigeria in Nigeria. You know, so basically we had to go to a boot camp, and it was on in like a Tropicana in Lagos, and it was like a hardcore boot camp. It was run by Nike Oshinowo.
Oh, I know her.
Yes. So it was pretty big pageant.
Intense.
The boot camp was aired on TV, and everybody like a lady will get eliminated each week. So only about 15 girls made it to the live pageant in Abuja. Wow. So it started with 36 girls to represent the 36 states of Nigeria, and a girl got evicted every single day.
Oh, every day? Every day. And then you were part of the 15 girls that made it to the final. To the live shows.
Yeah, and I came fourth on the night.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. I was just like, do you know what? I'll be happy to make the top 10, because it was so tough, you know, being up against these girls, intelligent girls and beautiful girls, you know, and you're there and you're like, whoa. And, you know, it was totally out of my comfort zone anyway to do pageants, and, you know, to come that far was totally amazing to me. You know, when they called top 10, and I was Miss Oyo. So when they called top 10, I was like, and then when they called top 5, I was like, I'm getting closer. And then I came fourth. But I was happy. I was very happy with it. Yeah.
Good. So you're obviously from Oyo State.
Yes, Oyo State.
Oyo State.
And it was actually, I didn't actually ask for Oyo State. I got it, and I was like, oh, very good.
But it's quite interesting that from contesting in the Miss Nigeria Ireland, open doors for you to actually contest in the Miss Nigeria, because that's pretty big.
And it was huge, you know, being in Nigeria as well. Like, I got featured on Bella Naija, you know, people recognized me, and there was an article, Linda Ikeji did an article on me as well. So it was amazing.
We have a celebrity in the house.
So it was just crazy, because I'm a big fan of Linda's, and I always read her blogs. And when I saw my picture on her page, I was like, oh my goodness, this is huge.
That's pretty big.
So it was great to be featured, and you know, and she knew who I was, and I was on Miss Nigeria. But yeah, it was amazing. It did open a lot of doors for me.
And would you do something like that again? You know, beauty
I'm
pageants
a bit old,
or modeling,
because beauty pageants, apparently the limit, I think, is 28, and I'm 28 at the moment.
Oh,
so
didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do help out with Peter's, the one in Ireland. I help out with the boot camp sometimes, and then the introduction dance. And then I host shows sometimes. So it's, you know,
I was actually coming to that, because I know that I think the last few Miss Nigeria Ireland that's been running, that you do, you know, you're like the co-host.
Yeah, co-host and
so
judging.
Could you talk more about, you know, presenting as well, because I know you've done a bit of radio presenting as well. So could you tell me more about
of course. I did Dublin City FM, and that was just a radio show on African entertainment and African current affairs, you know. So we didn't just focus on Nigeria, we did Ghana, you know, all around.
All the African countries.
Exactly. So that was fun, because I got to interview some of the Nigerian artists that I was a big fan of: Tiwa Savage, Wande Cole, and Wizkid, you know, Ice Prince, you know, that I did that for about 3 months. Dublin City FM 103.2, and it was absolutely amazing. And then did some presenting for Peter as well for the Miss Nigeria beauty pageant. So that was great, you know, just a bit of experience here and there.
Yeah, here and there. Yeah, quite interesting.
So it was good.
So I'm going to go back to your dancing, because obviously that's what you're known for, being a dancer and being a choreographer.
Yes.
So when it all started as a teenager, how did you know that, I mean, you did talk about it earlier, that it all started, you know, at the back of your house, you know, dancing. So when did you know that, look, you know what, I'm going to do this for a living. I'm actually going to make money out of this. This is my passion, and I'm just going to go for it. Yeah. I'm not going to go, you know, because obviously you did go to college. So I'm not going to go that, you know, in the normal route of, you know, going to college and getting a job. Yeah.
Funny enough, it was actually in 2009 when, you know, beforehand I only had like a handful of students, and in 2009, after doing Miss Nigeria Ireland, I just got a big spark of motivation, and I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna make this bigger. So I started printing out flyers and you know, getting it all around, and you know, I started, because before Miss Nigeria Ireland, I didn't take any kids lower than 14, you know, it was 14 and up. So, you know, after Miss Nigeria Ireland, I was like, do you know what? I want to train some kids up, you know, and really work them. And I printed out some flyers and I got it all around the house and estates and all around the schools as well. And, you know, people started, you know, contacting me. I was like, we're interested. So I started, you know, classes. So from 3 upwards is what I do now. So yeah, and ever since then the classes just kept building and building and building. And I did, you know, some shows, some competitions to, you know, just get people, you know, seeing, oh wow, this is what they do. You know, so that's when I took it seriously. After Miss Nigeria Ireland.
Good. So obviously right now you're building queendom, should I say, or your own empire. Really. I find that really interesting because I also know that you have your annual show, Prodigy.
That's
and that's been running for 7 years now. So tell me more about that as well. How did that start? Obviously, apart from the fact that you have Crystal Eyes on the side, you also decided to start this annual show where all these kids come together and you're the choreographer, and you also have artists from around UK and over here as well that would perform. So tell me more about that.
Prodigy actually started, I actually think it might have been 2008, I'm not too sure, but it wasn't called Prodigy, it was called Synergy. And you know, Synergy was a show with some of my teenage students before I took on little kids, and some of the students in the college. So that was called Synergy. And after that, I did Prodigy, which I called Prodigy 1. And then ever since then, I just kept going. We're actually on Prodigy 7. This year was Prodigy 7. Next year is Prodigy 8. And then for Prodigy 9, I'm actually going to call it Prodigy 10 because Synergy was supposed to be Prodigy. Not Synergy, because Synergy was a name of another show, and I was like, oh, damn it, I need to call it Prodigy. So I'm gonna Prodigy 9 is gonna be actually Prodigy 10. But Prodigy is, you know, a show where, you know, like I'm actually going to show you some of the clips. It's all like real life situation kind of, you know, brought through dance, and also, you know, there's you know, a lot of different style of dance. There's hip hop, dancehall, Afro beats, heels, lyrical, contemporary, and then we also have, you know, in between the dances we have like some singers that fly in from the UK, a boy band called Concept, Jamila Hassan, you know, Paul Cooney, Jake McCardle. We've got loads of
variety.
Different Good. So there's something for everybody in Prodigy, you know, and with Prodigy as well, we try to kind of, you know, switch up the mood each time. So if we're doing an emotional piece, we'll get the kids in to kind of liven up the mood. We do like stuff like taking it back to the 60s for the old, you know, older generation to enjoy that. And then just I like to do a lot of real life pieces. Like last year I did like a big slavery piece, you know, and you know, I do get really dark.
So with the real life that would suit everyone.
And just make people think as well, you know. When
it's not just about entertaining, but to also think about
and it is hardcore dancing as well, you know.
I can imagine from our session. Right, so what has been the greatest challenge so far in your journey?
Wow, I've had a lot of challenges. Gosh, like every year we do as you said, the Hip Hop International. That would probably be a big challenge for me because I put in like about 8 crews each year to compete, and in different categories. So I could have like 2.
You're the choreographer, you're the person teaching each group.
So I find that between January and March to April are the hardest few months for me because this competition is probably one of the hardest competitions in Ireland, because you have to go by certain rule, you have to go by certain music, certain timing. So you can imagine trying to think of that for 8 different crews and 8 like in different categories, you know. So, and it's tough because you want to give all them crews your best material possible, you know. So
because you're putting them out there,
absolutely, and it's them out there, and it's my name out there too. So that would probably be my hardest, you know, times my biggest
Challenging,
challenge.
yeah.
It is
Yeah.
very challenging. But apart from that, I enjoy the Prodigy because Prodigy is whatever I want. You know, I script it. You know,
Right.
whatever.
It's your show.
Yeah, it's my show. Whatever I come up with, whatever I think, whatever I'm feeling at the time, I can produce, and I don't. Doesn't matter what time. You know, there's no
It's all up
rules.
to you.
Yeah,
I like that. Who do you think is your competition in Ireland? I know they're not that much. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna rephrase the question. From my perspective, there are not much girls dancing or even guys.
Yeah.
But I do know of like Raw Edge,
Yes.
Rachel.
Yeah.
Do you think there are enough people that you would count as competition in Ireland?
Well, there can certainly be more. You know, everybody's different, but I'm gonna rate Raw Edge because Raw Edge, they bring the real hip hop culture. You know, like it's raw. Their stuff is raw, and they were one of the first people that started hip hop in Ireland, and you know they're still going. So I would definitely rate Raw Edge. They'd be up there for hip hop. You know.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So who would you say you look up to within the dancing industry?
Oh,
doesn't have to be in Ireland now.
Yeah.
It could be in Nigeria, someone like Kathy, CEO dancers. I don't know anyone.
Yeah, well, I do rate Kathy and I rate CEO dancers for Afrobeats and GOP girls. They're in London. They're amazing. A few choreographers in LA. I like Candace Brown, Paris Goebel. Yeah, they would be the ones I would look up to. But when it comes to Afrobeats, CEO dancers and GOP girls, hold it down.
Definitely. So is there something, because you're really into Afrobeats as well and hip hop,
Yes.
and hip hop. So would you like to push your brand outside of Ireland?
Absolutely, I would. I've got so many dreams to just go out to Nigeria and take Afrobeats on another level and just branch out, not just in Ireland. So I definitely would like to push my brand. I'd like to go to Nigeria and start up an agency, and a dance agency where Nigerian artists can just come to me and they need a video, they need dancers for a show. I would like to push it more.
I love the fact that you mentioned that you love to go to Nigeria, because I was actually coming to that.
Oh, absolutely.
So in Nigeria, obviously with we have with all the artists now, with the music industry, we see girls.
Yes.
I don't want to use the word video vixens.
Video vixens, yeah.
There are some that are not video vixens, but there are some that actually they're supposedly dancers.
Right.
But then, that mentality is that we have those girls in video, they're shaking what their mama gave them.
Right.
How do you think you can fill in that gap? You can put yourself there without not being seen as video vixen.
Yeah, it's just all about choreography, because the reason why a lot of artists will go video vixens is because there's not that much training in Nigeria. There's one group, and that's, I'm not going to mention names or whatever, but there's one group and that's it. And if artists can't afford that group of people, or if artists can't reach that group of people because they're booked out, they tend to go the video vixen route. So if there was more of a variety of dancers and choreographers in Nigeria, then they'll get more choreography, not just that kind of tacky look. But that's definitely what I'm trying to break when I go to Nigeria. It won't be, no artist will be coming to me for video vixens, because I won't have them. I'll have dancers that are that would go full out dancing choreography, rather than the other part. The other part.
Yes, I totally get that. And I know that you're also interested in acting.
Yes.
So you had few auditions here and there.
Yes, yeah.
So what's happening in that area at the moment?
Right now, I'm actually I've got an audition tomorrow actually.
Wow.
I can't say much obviously, but yeah, I am doing, you know, a lot of acting on the side, and I hope to push that even more. And my dad always says, why don't you go to Nollywood? I think you'll do really well. I think there's a
so
gap.
as well, yes.
All the girls there are getting older. They need a fresh
face.
So I think I might actually go that route too, you know. You know, when I go to Nigeria for the dance, might do the acting too. Who knows? You might
I
see
think
me
you should.
in Nollywood.
I think you really fit in, because now there's actually a new Nollywood. I think that's what they call it, new Nollywood.
New Nollywood.
Yeah, not like the old ones.
Yes.
So I think I could honestly see you in that circle.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to. That's acting is definitely, like, you know, a lot of people will be shocked if I say that, but acting is my first love.
Really?
Then dancing is my second love.
Wow.
You know, so yeah, absolutely. I would definitely go down that road.
That's something we are learning about Emmanuella. Acting is actually your first love.
It's my first love, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So would you say you sort of stumbled across dancing?
Yes, because as I said earlier, I started just teaching on the side in the college for clubs and societies, you know, and yeah, so I kind of was like, oh, do you know what? I'm going to just do this and make this bigger. But I'll say the two kind of, they're very close, but I'll say acting is ahead of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What other strategies do you think you can use to push your brand out there, outside Ireland?
What I do at the moment is I've got my YouTube channel and, you know, trying to get videos out there, and, you know, I would know, you know, through the radio show, I would be in contact with some of the artists there, as artists in Nigeria as well. So I feel like, you know, posting videos up and being in contact with the artists, when I do go to Nigeria, I could just contact someone and, you know, show them my video, tell them what I'm about, and I feel like that should work, you know. So the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, absolutely. And we actually got a chance. I had the great opportunity of spending some time with Emmanuella in the studio, where she was
absolutely
how
brilliant.
to bust a move or two. So you'll see this in the video.
Yes. You were brilliant. She was absolutely brilliant.
Oh, thank you. For Elena.
Yes.
10 times when I know get to stick out, you did by my side. So make a day your body like skin tight. We are going to by your side, cause 10 times when I know get to stick out, you did by my side. Oh, na 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 na. Hey, my baby. Sweet you. Hey, my lady.
So what advice would you give to your younger self, Emmanuella?
What I would have told my younger self, push harder, you know, because if I push harder, I think I'd be a lot ahead of where I am at the moment, and push harder and don't listen to what other people are saying, and you know, don't be discouraged, and stay motivated, stay focused. Yeah, that's what I would tell my younger self.
So coming from an African background, you're Nigerian, do you think you got the support early on in your career?
Yeah.
You know, I want to be a dancer.
Yeah.
How did your parents feel about that?
Yeah, well, my parents are very, very supportive, actually. You know, of course, they were like, okay, you're going to do the dance, but you need to go to college.
Of
you know, there was times where I was like, oh, maybe I need to go to dance college. Not, you know, but, you know, I studied business in college, and as well as my dance. So mum was just happy enough that I, you know, kept to my education as well as my dance. And so she knew I could keep a balance. So they were very, very supportive. So when I told her I was going to, you know, make a business out of the dance, she was really impressed, you know, because she was like, do you know what, you love doing it, so it's not going to seem like, you know, a big massive job to you, you know. So my mom and dad are very, very supportive. Good. You know, with everything I do. Like when I post stuff on my Facebook to say, okay, there's a show on today, blah blah blah, they're always sharing it on their page, and they're really, really supportive. Yeah, really supportive.
That's good. That's good. It's good to have a good support system.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And last but not least, who inspires you?
I'm gonna be geeky and say my mother. My mother is a big inspiration. She's such a virtuous woman, and she's so hardworking. And growing up, just watching her, do all the things she did for us, and just makes me want to push even harder. She's like, I know everybody says their mother is amazing, but my mother is amazing. She's such a hard worker and with everything she does. Even her age right now, she's still pushing. She's still looking for ways to do this, do that, do the other. Same as my dad. But yeah, my mom is my hero, and Beyonce too, because I love Beyonce.
I know you are huge, probably like one of the beehives.
Yeah, I'm probably her biggest fan. Beyonce is amazing. So I love her. Yeah, been to all her concerts. Yeah, she doesn't know it yet, but I will be dancing with her very soon.
Amen to that. Gosh, if that could happen, that would be big.
That would be big.
Okay, cool stuff. Thank you so much for coming, for gracing your presence on the couch with Abi. So it's fun having you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's your boy, You think that you are the revolve around your bumper? You think that you are the rotate around?